Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
We've all been to the party or tailgate with that person. You know, the one who makes everything about politics. Or there's that relative, the one you blocked on Facebook because you'd prefer to opt out of toxic conversations.
I'm Sarah Stewart Holland.
And I'm Beth Silvers.
We host Pantsuit Politics, where we take a different approach to the news.
On Pantsuit Politics, we opt out of the shouting and scorekeeping while still recognizing that elections matter.
We're here to look at the headlines as citizens. We pay attention to politics, but also keep it in perspective.
Pantsuit Politics was named one of Apple's best podcasts of 2021 and GMA3's podcast of the month.
Take a different approach to the news with us in 2023. Pantsuit Politics releases new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Listen on the Acast app and wherever you get your podcast.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, March 11th, 2022, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas. No, she's in Denver today. Author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, the family is back together. I feel like we've been rotating for a little while. Y'all have been busy. Everybody's here. From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
It is nice being back with you guys. It's Friday. It's the first day of my birthday weekend. So just on Tuesday.
Happy birthday weekend.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Cameron,
it.
your nose is a little red, buddy. Have you been on the sauce, the milkshakes this morning?
It's red? For real?
Playing with you, bro.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, maybe it's a zit. I didn't know. No sauce. No, that's for the after party after the recording. No. Oh man.
I just see big bottles of Jack Daniels behind you for some reason. I don't know.
That's a Tennessee drink. That is not my drink of choice.
That is, for sure.
We have a great show in store for you. Coming up later, we have director Shawn Levy. He has he's a famous director, but he has a new film out today called The Adam Project, starring Ryan Reynolds and a lot of other people. Kind of cool that he's on the show today. So he's coming up later. Don't miss that. Also, it's spring break. You know, for a lot of people, today starts spring break. And, there's road trips happening right now. You probably load up this podcast for your road trip. And so at the end of the show, we're going to play a little road trip game with the cast. It's not really like Would You Rather, but I'm going to bust out the table topics questions. I got some questions for the staff, or for the cast. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it.
So, Cameron, we're recording this before your birthday weekend. A little peek behind the curtain here.
That is true.
And I will be flying down. We're going to go to some games. I'm very excited to come down and hang and celebrate the birthday
Tyler
weekend.
Will be here. We got some
Tyler's
going to
be there.
Up.
It's going to be a good time. Yep. The only thing I'm nervous about coming down is I will be flying to Central Florida at the same time of spring break. I haven't done a lot of traveling during the pandemic. And not out of any opposition. I just didn't really travel very much. Right. And I feel like I have picked possibly the worst weekend to get back into the travel game because spring break is coming too. And so I feel like I'm going to be on a plane with nothing but, people heading down to spring break in Florida. Those are not the type of people who I think are taking the necessary precautions here at the tail end of the pandemic. I feel like the next variant, I hope not, and I'm not speaking it into existence if that's what you believe. But what I'm saying is, if I were a betting man, I would bet that the next variant will emerge on a plane heading down to any part of Florida for spring break. Just because I feel like the people that are flying down right now to just rage for a few weeks in the Florida sun are not taking a lot of health precautions here.
Do you remember last spring break, the
variant.
shots from Miami of
Yes.
everything was shut down and then the spring break pictures from Miami. All right, let me set your mind at ease, Jesse. There are 5 Floridas. but 3 main Floridas. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got your South Florida, and you've got your Central Florida, and you've got your North Florida. If you were flying into either North or South Florida, I would agree with your concerns. Because if you're flying into Panama City or Destin, you're going to be on a plane. You're probably on a Spirit Airlines plane, first of all. And it's Lord of the Flies. It's going to be Lord of the Flies.
Before you get off the plane.
Yeah. You're going to have a lot of stuff, not just COVID.
Frankly, I'm surprised there haven't been more pandemics that have started from people just on random Spirit airline flights in and out of Florida. Like, I'm surprised the CDC doesn't have like lab chemists in coats, like just scraping the back of those tray tables, like loading up petri dishes. And they're like, we've got variants here of viruses I've never seen before.
Right.
Somehow an amalgamation of grease, of pretzel crumbs, of what appears to be
pretzels on
smuggled
Spirit. That's like $9. They don't have pretzels.
What appears to be smuggled on
there you go.
Tequila, as well as sunscreen and sweat, have all merged to create a new super virus that could wipe out humanity.
That's Panama City. That's the North Florida. South Florida, same thing. Y'all remember the pandemic pictures, crazy South Beach partying, all that. Central Florida, dude, you're going to be on a plane with a bunch of families whose kids are on spring break, and they're just going to stay at the resorts. They're trying to hit up theme parks. They're trying to have a good time. It's going to be annoying because the kids are going to be hyper and loud and stuff, but you're not going to catch diseases the way you would flying to North or South Florida.
Whoa! I got 2 kids. They carry diseases.
That's true.
More than anybody.
Not those kind. Not those kind.
No, I'm saying I'm telling you, like,
you're just going to have a runny nose. Yeah, you're going to have a runny nose.
Was never sick until we sent our kids to school.
That's true.
As soon as we sent our kids to school, all of us, we got everything.
Yeah.
I got stuff I don't even know what it is.
Not an STD. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I feel
she just said it. That's it. She just said it.
It's a great point.
The people who emerge, like the people who emerge from the next pandemic will be, basically flight attendants from Spirit Airlines, because they've experienced, their immune system has already been intaking all these strange viruses and building natural immunities. Yeah. They're our only hope, really. And, but I appreciate Spirit Airlines game.
Think about it. Like, we honor the frontline workers because of the risks they put themselves into, the nurses, the doctors, the people helping people who need the help most. We need to be honoring the Spirit Airlines flight attendants because they have put themselves in harm's way for years with diseases, abuse. I mean, I'm just saying, we need to have nights at NBA games that honor the frontline workers of the Spirit Airlines flight crew. So.
They when you apply for a job at Spirit Airlines, first they are like, all right, we want to make sure you're up to date on FAA regulations. 2, do you know how to fight or break up a fight? Because that's a big part of this job. It's a huge part of this job is fighting. And also, that's why in Spirit Airlines, you're right, Cameron, they don't give out pretzels. They actually require you you have to feed the flight attendants. You got to bring food for the flight attendants. Part of the deal now. It's but either way, I'm not flying Spirit, thankfully, but I will be on an airplane with some people ready to rage down in Florida. So we'll see. Derek's
happens. Coming down in 2 weeks, and like yesterday, we were literally talking about like specifically trying to find a flight that gets him in at the right time for what we're going to do. And everything was like a little too early or a little too late. And then I was helping search too, and I looked and I was like, hey, I know what you're going to say, but there is a Spirit Airlines flight that lands at the exact time, and it's only $45. And he goes, oh, heck no. So I was like, all right.
No, I didn't say heck.
You didn't say heck. I just censored it for him.
I did. Thank you for censoring it.
But that's a trap.
Listen,
how's a flight with the gas prices right now? How is any flight $45? First of all, I mean, like,
because it might not.
You're
get
pushing
there.
half that flight. Yeah, that's right. They're not totally topping off the tank. They're just going to put it about half full and hope for the best. So
I'm pretty confident there's drug trafficking happening on the $45 flight. We're just going to leave it at that. They trafficking some drugs for sure.
How is it that I can do the math and they're actually losing money on this ticket? Why is this happening right now? Spirit Airlines.
So you got other revenue streams.
Pablo Escobar is somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a Pablo Escobar situation happening. The new one is out. He doing something. I'm at El Chapo. El Chapo cousin is on Spirit right now with a whole yeah. in his carry on. Side note, I'm just gonna say. Side note, guys. There was a story in Nashville. This is crazy, but there was a story in Nashville. This lady that had went to L.A. and she came back with 2 carry-ons full of weed to sell in Nashville. So
wow,
drug trafficking happens. Yeah, my sister's a flight attendant. She tells me all these stories, and this lady literally got busted because you can have 50 pounds or more, or 50 pounds or less in your bag. She like packed her carry-on full of bricks of marijuana. So
what is she
it happens.
How did she?
And
think
look,
that
it was so loud.
Through?
She's driving. She gets to Nashville, but it was so loud. Her backpacks were screaming, and so just don't do it. It ain't worth it.
Doesn't seem like she thought out that plan very well, but
and she doesn't look like the typical drug dealer. She looked like a LA model. I was like, oh, okay, struggling out there in LA. Gas price is $7.60 per gallon. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's crazy. This makes me like watching all this news. I'm very grateful that I a few years ago invested in an electric car because I haven't been to a gas station in years. So
I'm about to start just biking everywhere. I'm just going to be bike guy from here on.
Just everywhere you go, you're going to be a little sweaty.
Change of clothes.
But,
but
a little sweaty.
It's got its downsides, but
All right, well, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, Emily joins us from Paris for the last time. This is our last week in Paris for Relevant Buzz. Stay tuned.
With you even still when you sleep in the bed in the house where we live, and I'm far away. I am with you even still. People say I've gone too far.
You're listening to Chick 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 and Maria Uzor. The song is Storm Around the World. Well, today's show is brought to you by He Gets Us, a national campaign influencing millions to think differently about Jesus. Through broadcast ads, social media videos, and digital marketing, the He Gets Us campaign is connecting with people in the middle of their daily routines. More importantly, it's introducing those who are skeptical about faith to the radical love of Jesus by intentionally focusing on how relatable his experiences were. Within a couple of months, they've had over 31 million views on YouTube, not to mention Facebook, Instagram, and broadcast networks, while focusing on just 10 test markets. They're having a huge rollout during March Madness starting this weekend. You're going to see that He Gets Us commercials or videos everywhere. And if people see them and maybe bring them up to you and head your way asking for answers, be ready by visiting HeGetsUsPartners.com. That's HeGetsUsPartners.com. There's a bunch of great resources. All the videos are there. You can check out the team behind the story behind them. A lot of info. Go check it out. He Gets Us. You're going to be hearing a lot from them this year. It's really great stuff. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Please welcome to the show Emily in Paris, who's reporting live from an Airbnb 10 minutes from the airport because she's going to be leaving there in 2 days and she's very sad. Hi, Emily.
Hi, guys. I really think you love bringing it up because you're just like waiting for me to cry about it. And it's coming.
I'm jealous. You've been in Paris for a month. I'm just the fact that every time we talk, I point out how little time you have left and you better make the most of it because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Doesn't mean that I want you to cry. I'm just jealous and I act out in weird ways.
Mm-hmm. Emily, has Paris lived up to your expectations? Has it just been a month of frolicking and cycling and
$3 bottles of wine? Which
and
she's been sending me
baguettes.
pictures of how cheap wine is. It's insane.
And it's still
It's
good.
so good
It's not
and
like
it's so
cheap,
cheap.
crappy wine. Yeah.
No. She literally sent a
good
picture.
wine.
Emily, I checked. You sent a picture one time of certain, local wine bottles, and they were like €3. And I saw, I went down the French wine section specifically and pulled up your picture to see if I could find the same. $18 was the cheapest, up to $43 for the bottles that you sent me a picture that were $3 in Paris.
Sheesh.
I think the most bottle I've spent was like $7, if that. Like most of them are like $3 or $4.
Man, and it's probably high quality wine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's
incredible.
It's the best wine I've ever had.
You can't even get a bottle of Yellowtail for $7.
I would never even drink Yellowtail after having like this French wine. I'm going to be so bougie when I go back. I feel like I'm going to have to buy the like $18 French wine because my palate is just, so refined.
Yeah,
now.
but you're going to be mad paying $18 knowing that you paid $3, literally for the same label. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
$3 in America won't even buy you those weird like juice box wines that they sell like in the big bin at the front of Rite Aid. Like even those which are I think wine is in quotes on the box for legal reasons. Even that you can't get for $3. Paris seems like a magical place.
Dude, I had lunch at Taco Bell yesterday, and the Diet Pepsi was more than $3. I mean, it's like not even get a 2-liter. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good
So now you get why I'm
inflation.
sad every time you bring up me leaving because I have to go back. That's what I have to look forward to is $18 bottles of wine.
$18 bottles of wine
Just sad.
and $7 gallon of gas. So
Yeah, welcome home.
Yeah.
America fell apart while you left.
I'm kind of hoping my passport just like disappears and I have to stay here longer.
Can we get Pete Buttigieg? Can we get our Secretary of Transportation just figure out how we convert our engines to run on French wine? It's much more economical for everyone at this point.
And if you accidentally spill a little bit on you, nobody's upset. You just lick it off your fingers.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Make it happen, Pete.
I will say this. You don't want to get pulled over if you were to have just spilled some wine all over. Right? It's probably not a great look if French Chardonnay is dripping off of you and you get pulled over. But at least your car is running, very efficiently.
Yeah.
But
I also feel like if I were to tell the cops, like, my car's running on wine, they would be like, oh, so you're really drunk right now. Like, just straight to jail.
do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yes.
You're going to jail.
All right.
You
So
going to
Emily,
jail
what
tonight?
is the buzz this week? What's going on?
Well, there's lots going on. Of course, we're going to start with Ukraine because that is probably going to be going on for a very long time. So, we talked last week about how things will constantly be changing and, it might be hard to stay up on the news, but you just got to be diligent about it. But one thing that will definitely be the same throughout this entire time is that Ukrainians are going to need help and support. And it's been really, I think, encouraging seeing all the different organizations and individuals who are like pledging to donate money and trying to help Ukrainians. But one company in particular that's been doing a lot is Airbnb. They have offered free housing to 100,000 refugees who are fleeing the conflict, which is just incredible. They've done this before. I think they did it, I know, for Afghanistan refugees as well. So they're really solid on that. But what is really interesting this time are people have realized that they can book Airbnbs in Ukraine because no one's actually trying to go there right now. But if you book an Airbnb in Ukraine, that money will go directly to the renter. So this way they're kind of financially able to help Ukrainians in a really direct way. And Airbnb has actually waived all of the extra fees that normally go with a booking an Airbnb. So that way all of your money is just going straight to the renter. And it's just really great because a lot of people that are leaving, they're not working right now because they don't have a job anymore. They may not even have an office building. And so this is a really great way to help just directly fund people that are trying to pick up the pieces from what's going on.
So in theory, if a family had to leave or they what is it? Vacated? What's the word? Sorry.
Evacuated.
Evacuated.
Fled.
Yeah. So if a family evacuated and left their home behind or their apartment or whatever, and they're in Poland now or they're staying with family elsewhere out of harm's way, they can put their empty former home on Airbnb. Somebody here in America can rent the Airbnb and the money will go to that family. Obviously, we won't go stay there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is
What
awesome.
a cool program.
My friend Noelle actually did that. She posted on her stories the other day, and she posted the interaction between her and the owner of the home, and just he was so extremely grateful and explaining to her that him and his that his wife and kids had left. And it just was like, oh, you hear about that and you think that's great. And then you see like, oh, my friend did that. And she was actually talking to this Ukrainian man who was so extremely grateful for that basically donation. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a blessing for sure.
All right. What else is going on?
In some exciting movie news, the movie I Am Legend is officially getting a sequel. And Michael B. Jordan's going to star in it. And surprisingly,
that's the Will Smith one?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So Will Smith is also supposed to star in the movie, but it's been like 15 years, so you may not remember it, but Will Smith brutally died at the very end of the last one. Sorry to spoil that, but you
I
had
was
15 years
just
to
going to
watch
see
it.
it this weekend, Emily. I was finally getting around to it.
Surprise, I've never seen
Finally
it.
getting around to it.
Well, you've had 15 years, so sorry.
That's true.
But
he was dead all along.
He died. Like, it is not like a questionable death. He died. That is very true.
Yeah.
The only way he comes back now is through Jesus. So I don't know what that means that he's attached to this movie, because it's not a
Michael
prequel.
B.
It's
Jordan
a
is
sequel.
playing Jesus. You not putting the pieces together.
Maybe it is a ghost. Maybe
I would
he's a
love
ghost.
if Michael B. Jordan played Jesus. I would be a big fan of that.
Of Will Smith. He haunts Michael B. Jordan. He mentors him, teaches him, kind of like Mr. Miyagi
It actually
style.
has nothing to do. Yeah. But maybe it has nothing to do with the plot of the original. It's like the world's just recovered since whatever caused the zombie outbreak, and Michael B. Jordan just living life. And the ghost of Will Smith comes back, and they're just marketing it as I Am Legend 2. Either way, I'm seeing it. I like Michael B. Jordan.
Could he be his son from 15 years ago and now he's grown up?
Yeah, are they going to do it like remember that Will Smith movie where he played him and like his him younger? They did like CG on his face. I saw it in the theater.
No, I didn't watch that. It was
terrible. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But Will Smith played like young Will Smith, and maybe they're doing that. Maybe it's a prequel to I Am Legend or something.
Right.
I do have a question though, and not to be, it seems like there's a lot of films and TV shows that are about like post-apocalyptic worlds right now, about sort of end of the world. Do you kind of feel like, hey, read the room a little here, Hollywood? Like, we don't want to talk about like pandemics or outbreaks or end times calamities. Can we change the conversation a little? Maybe it's just my perception that I feel like every other show is some sort of, just dystopian nightmare, Squid Game or, zombie outbreak but it's like, I'm ready for a new thing to take hold. Like a few years ago, it was vampires. They seemed so wholesome when there was just a lot of vampire content.
It was like sexy vampires where they had like crushes on non-vampires, and it was like. But
how do we go from sexy vampires everywhere? Permeating culture with sexy vampires to just everything is some post-apocalyptic calamity. I'm fine going back to sexy vampires. I'm fine with sexy werewolves, frankly. I'm down for like a lot of sexy horror creatures.
Dumb like Will Smith comedies like Semi-Pro and Step Brothers. Where are those? Like let's get more stuff.
Yeah.
Or
Will Smith. Give me another hit.
Give me a Will Ferrell and Will Smith comedy.
Wait, did I say Will Smith?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, did you see like a few days ago that there's a Warriors game and during warmups, Will Ferrell dressed as Jackie, whatever the character's name is from Semi-Pro.
That's dope.
Came out and did the warm-ups with the team. He was playing D on Klay Thompson. He was shooting half-court shots with Steph. And like he was talking to the refs and all this stuff, like full on, NBA 1970s outfit. It was hilarious. Get more of that. We don't need a post-apocalyptic stuff.
Jamie, I feel like you see a lot of movies. One of your children works at the movie theater. At one point, you were getting to see a lot. Well, that's okay. She still was getting.
He lost that job. Yeah.
Whoa,
are we allowed to talk? Is it because he was sneaking his mom in the movies?
He's gonna kill me right now. He's gonna kill me.
Do it. Say it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, he's going to be so mad at me. He wasn't doing anything illegal, and we give him such a hard time at home. But they just stopped scheduling him, and so he claims they just stopped scheduling him, and we're like, dude, you got fired. Like I don't know how to say it to you, but you got fired.
Yeah.
But he still just thinks that like they just haven't called him in a couple of months, which is fine. But he has a new job. He's happy.
Jobs don't ghost you like girls. You got broken up with. Sorry.
He's happy now. He didn't really like it.
I was going to say, at least it's a passive aggressive way of getting fired that's non-traumatic.
That's really
I don't know,
random.
yeah.
Like, how does the manager not call you in and like tell you we no longer need your services? Like, you don't just
That's pretty unprofessional.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. That's why everyone at the house is like, I don't know if you got the story right, dude, because I think you might have gotten fired. But Jesse, this is what I was going to say about the movies. Maybe these movies have always been there all along. But you know how when you get like a new car and you got this new, I don't know, black Jeep, and all of a sudden all you see on the road are black Jeeps. So maybe we're in the middle of just the craziest season of our lives ever with wars and plagues. And so every time we look up, we're like, it's another movie about like some kind of something taking over the world. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely.
What you're saying, so our perception, because we're thinking about this topic, we see it everywhere. Because I know what you're saying about the Jeep thing. I don't think that there's actually more Jeeps. It's just like I'm in the market for a Jeep, so I'm thinking about Jeeps and I see them all the time now. So that's what you're saying, that it's our perception, and that could be true.
That seems like a fair point. You know, it's like
or the Illuminati is programming our brains.
boom. There it is.
All of this stuff to get us ready for the coming apocalypse. I don't know. I think I'm right.
Desensitization. So then
that's what it is.
Okay.
So, but Derek, here's the only way I can poke holes in that is like we've established earlier. You know, at one point there was just sexy vampires everywhere. Was the Illuminati planning on some sort of sexy vampire takeover in real life, and those plans just didn't work out? Like, what are we thinking there? What was up with that?
I would say it did work out. The Twilight craze is like still going strong. Like,
it is.
So I think
it has a new generation. My daughter's 14 and she's into it now. Yeah. It's coming back.
It had a little renaissance.
You let your 14-year-old read about
No.
sexy vampires? That's very mature.
You know, she didn't read it. She just watched it. Is that better?
Yeah. I mean, they are.
Looking at sexy vampires?
Hey,
Just tell her to watch Batman. He did a better job in
We
that.
watched it together.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, you watched the sexy vampire show or Batman?
No, I haven't seen Batman. Wait, I think she has seen Batman. Is it bad?
Oh, no, it's great. It's phenomenal.
Okay, good.
It's amazing.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was amazing.
Would it have helped you do better on the Batman quiz last week?
No.
Okay.
Not at
Maybe
all.
let's not bring that up.
Nothing. Listen, you guys are cold-blooded for that. You hurt my feelings a little bit.
I would like to clarify that was all Tyler.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what?
I knew
I
as
was
soon as
satisfied with the outcome of
the
that game.
question went one direction and then did a triple backflip into the other direction, I was like, oh, this is Tyler Huckabee's work.
You know what? I'm calling it. We're going to do part 2 of that game at the end of this episode.
No,
we're not doing
we
no
are
road trip
not.
stuff. We got a lot more, and we have Emily questions. So, yep, stay tuned at the end of the show. We're going to do part 2 of the Batman quiz just for Derek.
Jamie, I don't mean to circle back on something, but your story about your son, his passive aggressive firing, if we were calling it that, a passive aggressive termination. I actually was in a similar scenario. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. When it was freshman year of college. I came home during the summer, and I had decided that I was going to declare my major as journalism. And one of my friend's fathers was the news director at a local media institution here. I won't get into the name of it, but anyway, got me an internship. Okay. I go my first day. I'm like, all right, I'm get to work in a real newsroom. He's kind of showing me around. The next day, my friend's dad gets fired. Okay. But I have just been brought on as the new intern directly under him.
Stop.
I come the next day. Most people don't know who I'm there or who I am or why I'm there because my friend's dad didn't really tell a lot of people about this new intern that's coming on. So I was showing up for weeks, just wandering around. And the only reason I was doing it, the only reason I could wander around the newsroom is because I had a badge to get in. They didn't know who I was, but they knew apparently I was supposed to be there because I had a badge that was getting me in. But I didn't know anyone. I wasn't really introduced to anyone. So there was like a 2-week period where I was just wandering around this newsroom, just kind of talking to people, ensconcing myself in office culture until I just literally decided not to go anymore. No one ever called me one time. Like I didn't have a schedule. I was just coming and going.
So had he worked anything out
You
with
know,
the county?
I don't know if I ever got any credit for it.
This is
it's an
great.
internship.
Huh? No. It was an internship. And
right.
like I said, I remember one day I just decided I would just mill around the file cabinets for a while. And I spent the whole afternoon just doing that. And then just, like I said, I was just kind of coming and going till I decided there was no point in showing up
Did you
anymore.
tell them what you were doing? Like, hey, I know that you're not there, but I've been going anyway? Or did
No,
you,
it was
did you
really
take the college
very
credit?
awkward. No, it was very awkward because he was quite established professionally, and that really devastated him. So the last thing on his mind is my daughter's friend who just started his internship yesterday. I think he was more worried about his livelihood at that point. But
I
like I
can't
said,
believe that. So there was nobody. He was going to be your manager, and
Yes.
so you showed. But like nobody thought
he ran
like,
the whole show.
So
Yeah.
were you like scheduled to work, or like how did you know when to
Jesse
come
got
in?
the craziest
We didn't get to the schedule. I just figured I'd keep coming, and that would work itself out, which I did do.
So that's like a tactic that people do. You just sidle up. You know, you just sidle up to a person you want to become friends with or get favor with or meet or whatever. You just sidle up. You're just there.
There were a couple reporters. I got chummy with, but they didn't know what the reason I was there. You know, it wasn't like I was assisting them on their assignments. I would just be going, hey, what you working on over here?
So Jamie, maybe you need to tell your son, just sidle up. Just start showing up. He's not on the schedule. Yep. Just wear the shirt and, you know, be proactive.
I would like to say in his defense.
He'll find a way.
I would like to say in his defense, he didn't really enjoy the job, and he has a new job working at a grocery store, and he's very happy.
Oh, well, yeah. Hey, well, forget them then. Don't nobody care. Forget them. They lost out on a good employee. You know what I'm saying? So forget them. Hey, look, you can come work for me. You know what I'm saying? If you live in Nashville, you can come work in the studio for me. I know you a good stock.
That's right.
All right. Emily, what else you got? Anything else for the buzz?
I got one more thing, ending it on some good church news, which we always love. So around the U.S., there's like thousands of acres that churches own that are just completely empty. They haven't done anything with them. And so a nonprofit called Enterprise Community Partners recently announced $8.5 million in grants, and they're going to work with congregations in Atlanta, New York, Baltimore, Miami, and Seattle to build affordable housing projects on their property. So this will build roughly 6,000 affordable homes across the U.S. Wow. Which is just really awesome. Like that's awesome. I mean, truthfully, there are like millions of Americans that need better affordable housing because the average cost of a house is just so much money. And so this is a really awesome initiative that these churches are doing. And I wanted to share this because I think it's something that a lot more churches should be doing. And, obviously everyone has different means, but it's just really encouraging when churches kind of like seek out ways to get creative with what they've been given. And so I want to congratulate these churches for using this empty space and doing it to like help the community.
I like the idea, not just using empty land that they could provide, but like, I like the idea of churches rethinking even how to reuse their facilities for community impact the other 6 days a week. You know, like there's churches that do more community center stuff. They feed the homeless. They do things where they're utilizing the assets that they have. And it's not just about the Sunday gathering. So, I mean, that's awesome. And I think absolutely more churches should be thinking like this. It's great.
I love that. That's something that our church has done. We have we have a big building. Yeah, we have a big building. And then, during the week, it houses office for a ton of nonprofits in town. And so it's not sitting empty those other 6 days, which is just really, really great. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many possibilities because we've all been in churches where it's like, dude, the atrium in this church could feed half the city right now. Right. You know what I mean? Like the cost of the water feature, operating the water feature and maintaining it, in the lobby is probably enough to help a local family. But like even like the idea of making the church like a WeWork for nonprofits on days that aren't Sunday is cool. Yeah. Or, hey, I remember when I was growing up, we would, and I was really into like basketball. It was like a lot of times churches were the ones that had the gyms in town where they would open it up to like community, the city if they needed like an extra place for kids to play basketball or, I think. I feel like we're kind of the pandemic, and this is anecdotal. I haven't looked at any research. I'm sure our friends at Barna or any of those other researchers.
The good Barna.
The good Barna?
Good Barna. could Barna could probably give some validity to this theory, but it seems like coming out of the pandemic, I don't know if there will be sort of the extravagance when it comes to the facilities of a lot of kind of mega churches and large evangelical institutions. But for the ones that are still around, that are the size that a lot of times are in a lot of cities, other than like a big box store, are some of the largest standalone, structures in the whole city. Yeah. Like, why not use those for more community good? Even if they can't, they don't have like residential dorms or something. Right. Like, could we convert them into places where members of the community could utilize the facilities as just sort of a good faith way of helping people that might need assistance, All
right. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. Follow Relevant on all the socials to stay in touch with all the stuff we're doing, and make sure that relevantmagazine.com is part of your weekly or daily web browsing. Thanks, Emily. Au revoir. Enjoy your last 2 days in Paris. Don't smuggle back 50 pounds of French wine in your carry-on. We learned that lesson earlier in the show.
Do smuggle back 50 pounds.
I'm fully prepared to just pay extra at the airport to get everything through.
I want to have French wine with Emily.
There you go. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Shawn Levy joins us.
Come so easily, but now I think you've broken me. I've got my head in a cloud.
You're listening to Luna Lee. The song is What You're Thinking. Today's show is also brought to you by BetterHelp Online Therapy. A lot of us will drop anything to go help someone we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves the same treatment? This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that you matter just as much as everyone else. And therapy is a great way to make sure you show up for yourself. Over the years, therapy has played a major role in my life, helping navigate through rocky life seasons with a counselor I trust. Well, BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. Right now, Relevant Podcast listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/relevant. That's BetterHelp.com/relevant. Well, our guest today is Shawn Levy. He's a director, producer, and actor who's been a part of a few of our favorite films and shows like Arrival, Free Guy, which I just watched with my kid again the other day, Stranger Things, and so much more. His new film is called The Adam Project. It comes out today and stars Ryan Reynolds and an A-list group of actors. Ahead of its release, we sat down with Shawn to discuss his interest in making earnest movies and how his friendship with Ryan Reynolds helped shape the type of stories he wanted to tell. Here's our conversation with director, producer, Shawn Levy.
What's your plan?
Well, I'm not going to explain my plan to a 12-year-old nerd with an
You don't
because
have
I do not have a plan, but I know somebody who does.
Dad.
I'm the godfather of time travel?
The Adam Project. We don't pull this off.
Well, congratulations on the movie. I've really enjoyed it. I'm kind of a sucker for father-son stories, so this one was right up my alley. And I was curious from the very beginning, when you first started working on this and thinking about this, how close was it to what ended up being on the screen, to the final cut? Did it evolve over time, or is it pretty much what you expected?
Well, it always evolves. Certainly also when I work with Ryan, our process is we come aboard to something because there's a big, juicy idea. And then the first thing we do is we dig into the script and we do rewrites with the writer. We then do rewrites with the two of us. And we really try and hone that thing for months before we shoot so that it's our vision of that idea. With Adam Project, this idea of a literal revisitation of one's history, a sci-fi movie that's less about saving the world and more about saving yourself, that felt incredibly compelling. And the movie that you've now watched is incredibly close to what we set out to make.
Time travel exists.
this world, our world, everything has already been changed. That's why we're going to put the genie back in the bottle. Adam? Dad.
What is it you think about, obviously you know Ryan very well, but what does he bring to a role like this that is maybe unique to him, to his personality, that he could do that nobody else could do?
Well, I think that Ryan is deft and nimble with tone in a way that a lot of actors aren't. For one thing, he is a comedic genius, and there aren't many of those. And it is innate to him. And I can tell you from experience, you can't direct that. You cannot direct a dramatic actor to be funny. You can direct a comedic actor to be dramatic. But you can't teach them to hear the music if they don't hear it. And comedy is rhythm and music.
Laura, this is me.
Hi. Parallel contact, babe.
Well, you know, you've always said that you've wished you'd met me earlier. Here I am.
The great joy for me of making Adam Project, I wasn't surprised that he was funny, but he really opened himself up to the dramatic aspect of this movie. And there are scenes in this movie, notably one in a bar with Jen Garner and then one at the end with Mark Ruffalo, where it's not the Ryan Reynolds we expect. It's not the Ryan Reynolds we see in other movies. It's authentic and raw in a way that Ryan doesn't always allow of himself on screen. And I think that is partly a function of the trust that's developed between the two of us. He came to this movie very open to be who he is and show who he is.
Do you remember this? I mean, if this is happening to me, it already happened to you, right? Unless it works more like a multiverse where each replicates an alternate time.
A multiverse. My God, we watch too many movies.
Why this movie right now? This is a meaningful movie, and I'm curious what you think it has to say to a very strange and kind of uncertain time that we live in.
I just think that any storytelling that can reconnect people with their humanity and their emotional better selves is good. It's good for the way we live, and cumulatively just might be good for the world that we live in. And so making a movie that is committed to being anti-cynical, positive, anti-nihilist, hopeful. These are values I believe in, and it is the kinds of stories I want to put into the world.
I spent 30 years trying to get away from the me that was you. And I'll tell you what, you were the best part all along.
That was Shawn Levy. Make sure to check out his new film, The Adam Project. It releases today on Netflix. Stay tuned. Up next, it's our spring break road game something. I don't know. Stay tuned.
Oh, I've been telling them keep up. That way the time and they ease up. This ain't my home, let my lease up. He's making me Mona Lisa. Okay, don't really care what them posts say. I would still do this for no pay. It would be kinda hard though, not gonna lie. Been on my go, family grown, good to my soul. New arrows, fit in my bow. Aim it, who knows where they might go. Hey, brother, they understand that I'm just a son of the son of man. I'm running mad, but don't wanna dance. Just trying to keep it 100 grand. So don't let.
You're listening to Trip Lee. The song is Right Out the Gate. Hey, they're going on a tour, the Unashamed tour coming in through our town. You should go check it out. Good stuff. All right, well, okay, the best laid plans. So earlier, you heard me make the executive decision that we weren't going to do the road trip table topics game. We were going to go back to the Batman quiz. I pulled it up. There's not enough questions to do a whole game. There's not enough questions left. No, there's... Yeah, you're off the hook. You're off the hook, man. But I will give here just a sample. This is the last Derek question that Tyler wrote last week. Of the Batman quiz. For the entirety of his 80-year run, Batman's adventures have been published by DC Comics. Before being officially retitled DC Comics in 1977, the comic book company that published the stories of Batman, along with Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash, was known as Action Comics, Whiz Bang Comics, Allied Comics, or Detective Comics. Derek, what would your answer have been? What was DC before it was DC?
I know this.
Action, Whiz Bang, Allied, or Detective?
It's either Action or Detective. I can't remember, though.
It's Allied Comics. See?
Okay, well, I don't know this.
All right. Okay, so it's spring break time. You guys are trapped in a car with your friends. You've got hours to kill. You've been listening to, the archives of the Relevant podcast for hours. You're ready for human interaction. So what we're going to do is I'm basically going to give you ideas, listener, of questions that you could ask your car mates to pass the time, to engage, to get to know them better. And so we're going to get to know the cast. This is our road trip conversation game. And I'm just going to lob these out there. We'll go around the horn. Here we go. Let's see. And these are just random table topics cards that I just picked up. Here you go. Jesse, what's your favorite thing to do on the computer?
My favorite thing to do on the computer
keep it PG.
Is to close it at the end of the day. Just get my laptop and go like this and close it. I don't know. I like going down rabbit holes on just weird topics on my computer. I feel like that one should be pretty evident. If I can't fall asleep and my laptop is nearby, that's what I'm doing. Looking up weird, rabbit holes.
I like it. All right, Derek, what do you hoard?
What do I hoard?
What do you hoard? Everybody collects something. You got a big old coin jar.
Music equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for music equipment. For
Are you like always like buying rare stuff or always kind of looking for that stuff?
For me, a lot of times it's software stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So like it's between finding a hardware piece that I've been looking at, or like a synth that, that's odd and somebody made in their back. I just download. I like to download like indie products, like stuff that people, that's not popular. So that's kind of my thing.
Do you play instruments, or are you more of a producer?
I play the keys enough to get in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really good at any instrument though. To be good at it, it takes a lot of time. So I just pay really, really good people and tell them what I want them to play.
Nice.
I do think that is cool. Is like hoarding cool music equipment and instruments and like old software and stuff. I don't know if you guys watched that T-Pain documentary on the series This Is Pop on Netflix, but I mean, he kind of discovered auto-tune by just kind of goofing around with different kind of pieces of old, software. And plugins and stuff. Yeah,
this is one of the actually, T-Pain was doing a show. And they had this instrument. It's called Instrument One, and this was one of those instruments that I got. And
describe what that looks like. That's crazy looking.
So it looks like a small guitar. Shout out to Artiphone, you know what I'm saying? But it looks like a small guitar. But you can play it as a bass. You can play it as a guitar. You can play it as a violin. You can play it as a piano. You can play it as a drum machine. So this is like one of the most killer instruments. So I get stuff like this and I'm like, I'll try it out and see how it is. So usually the more indie, the better,
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Jamie, do you hoard anything?
I hoard magazines. Like I always think that if I'm going to read it one day. And so it drives my husband absolutely crazy.
Like even still?
Like
where do you buy magazines other than the 3 at the checkout at the grocery store?
So I used to get People magazine in the mail because, when I started getting People magazine, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be on Relevant all the time, I got to know what's happening in the world. And I've read maybe 3 in the last 18 months because who has time to read a magazine anymore?
Okay.
But I might
Please
have them all.
let me tell you, you do not need to read People magazine to be connected to what we cover. We don't talk about Kate Gosling or the Octomom or anything like that.
Well, I haven't read any of them, so there you go.
Where do you think I get all of our stars? They're just like us material, Cameron. I don't just think of it. I don't just know. I just don't know who wore it better to Starbucks that day.
Here's the one for everybody. What's the longest your hair has been?
Oh gosh.
I rocked in the early 2000s a full Scott Stapp, a full Creed. Like back, that was probably the longest that my hair has been. But
I had braids.
Oh,
I had braids in high school.
You had braids in high school? Oh,
yeah,
we gotta
get
a picture of that.
We want to see a picture.
I gotta find them. They were the dustiest braids you've ever seen in your entire life. They were like Meek Mill freestyling in the middle of Philly with no record deal in the middle of the projects braids. They were bad for sure.
I can't wait.
Maybe you should ask me, Cameron, how short my hair has ever been.
Okay, please tell.
A little bit longer than Jesse's.
Did you do a
now.
Rachel Maddow?
I did a little bit longer than Jesse's.
You had a Rachel Maddow? What year was this?
Listen, it wasn't as short. Like, it was a little bit long. I'll send y'all a picture. It's the worst thing I've ever. Maybe it's top 10 worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life, and I've made some bad ones. Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be the next question. What's the top 10 worst decisions you've ever made in your life? Number one.
Well, here we go. This is. I hope the statute of limitations has expired on this because
Jesse, you had long like emo hair, right?
I did. You know, someone. I guess it's been a couple years now, but someone tagged me in a photo that it was. This is an ad. I'll put it in the chat here. But someone tagged me in a photo of an ad that long ago, or no, I think it was in a magazine spread at Relevant from maybe 2005 or 6, and I was looking back at some very regrettable hair that I had at the time, and vowed to keep it short ever since seeing this photo again.
I mentioned this to Derek the other night, but like 2005, 6, in my mind, and I know what this does aging me, but in my mind, that wasn't that long ago. Okay. Relevant. Yeah. I started the company in 2000. Okay. So by the time you're getting up to 5 and 6, we're 5 or 6 years into the company, right? I mean, we're publishing books, magazines, we're doing a lot of stuff. I remember that era like it was yesterday. And then the other night I was watching a Cat Williams special from 2006. And to tell you how dated the look, the clothes, the hair, it was like I was watching something from the 70s. It was insane how ancient that looked. And I couldn't believe it. It was 2006. But that's the same about your hair in 2005. It's like you don't realize like how long ago that was, how dated that was, you know, but
yeah, it was not a great. I dropped the link in the chat there, but I was like, oh gosh, please burn. If anyone's hoarding that magazine, I ask that they please dispose of it because we don't need any physical evidence of that hair decision.
All right. What was the last big risk you took? We'll go around the horn, but we'll go with Jamie last because she likes to think about her answers. So, Jesse, what was the last big risk you took?
Oh, this is an easy one. So I told Cameron this, and you know, and I think we were talking about this off camera, but there's been a stomach bug going around my home. And, you know, last week, I don't know if last week during the show you guys could tell I was feeling a little under the weather. Hadn't really eaten much for about a week straight. Yesterday, I ate full 12-inch sub, okay, from Subway. All 12 inches, not one bite. Wow. After not eating for basically a week. I haven't eaten a full foot long in one sitting since high school, I think. It's probably been 20 years since I've looked at a foot of sandwich and be like, I'm going to sit here and eat the whole thing. I knew the risk, and I felt awful after. I felt like blood sugar was shooting all around. But can I tell you this? The risk was worth it because it was a delicious sub. And I ate all 12 inches. Pretty big risk. That's the last big one.
In the 30 whatever years of your life, the biggest risk you ever took was yesterday when you.
I thought you said what's you said the biggest risk ever or the most recent, because that was a huge risk.
I did. You're right. What was the last big risk you took?
That was yesterday afternoon at like 1 o'clock. Right. I made the conscious decision to while at the tail end of a stomach bug, and I told him in there, run it through the garden, man. I want everything on that sub. Okay, everything. I don't even ask me. If I want something, the answer is yes. Just put everything that you're allowed to put on there.
Even the yellow peppers and that was a big risk.
I said, if you like, unless you don't think you're allowed to without charging me extra, just put it on there. I don't care. Run it through the garden. I'll meet you at the register. Case closed. Gosh. And I got to say, guys, it was a phenomenal sub, though I felt awful after.
Derek, what was the last big risk you took?
I played probably 10 games of basketball with Aaron Cole yesterday, and my legs feel like they're going to fall off of my body.
Was it full court or half court?
It was half court, but we were playing 2-on-2.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was
so
just like back to 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 back. And
out of the 10 games, how many did you win? Your team?
Oh, I played awful. It was a terrible situation. Well, no, this is what it was. Aaron Cole brought a ringer in, and this dude literally did not miss. Like, that's really why we lost. Like, Aaron had, like, his team, it was him, and Aaron's a pretty good baller too. He has a pretty good shot, but he brought this dude in. It was this white guy, and the guy was shooting with his eyes closed, and throwing them in. So
you gotta be worried about that white guy in the Y League. I mean, like,
bro,
the old white guy too. Like, that guy.
If he's there for a reason.
Right. If everybody's in their 20s and early 30s, and then there's a one dude who's like 60, just don't even play.
And this is what I love. I was gonna say, this is what I love about those kind of the white guys that play. They won't say one word to you the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was talking smack.
Yeah,
I was talking smack. This dude was shooting hand in his face, like he's falling away. Sideways, he's shooting from half court, Steph Curry range. Did not say one word. Not even good job, buddy. Yeah, but I have to talk smack. That's literally my love language. So there's that. Yeah. What,
Jamie? Last big risk you took.
Last big risk that I took was probably stepping foot on a cruise boat in the middle of a global pandemic. So there's that.
That's pretty good. That's a risk. That's a pretty significant risk.
That's a risk.
How did it turn out for you?
It turned out great. I weighed all of the cost that it could cost me. I stepped on. I had a great time, and I came off exactly the same. No COVID, nothing. So it was great.
Good. Well, exactly the same plus 10 pounds of buffet. Wait. I mean, I don't know that,
exactly,
but I'm just saying. Every time I go on a cruise,
10 pounds of pizza at 2 p.m, and then again at midnight. Yes,
I'm telling you, the unlimited, the 24-hour pizza bar and the unlimited ice cream bar. It's a problem. It's a problem, those cruises. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a lot more questions, but we've run out of time. We will come back to this. I got some good ones sitting right here. So, all right. That'll do it for our spring break road trip. Get to know you quiz. So when you turn off music and turn off the podcast and you actually have to talk to people for a while. There you go. Well, before we wrap it up, I'm going to thank Shawn Levy for joining us today. Make sure to check out his new film, The Adam Project, which is out today on Netflix. Great flick. Also, okay, I said earlier we have huge news on the Tuesday show. And when I say huge, it's huge. Okay. Game-changing for Relevant, game-changing for the podcast, game-changing for the magazine. Big news on Tuesday. Okay. But before that, this week on Wednesday, just a couple days ago, we launched a new YouTube series. You should go check it out. It's called 3 Minutes With. And it's 3-minute videos talking to the biggest names at the intersection of faith and culture. We have actors, musicians, thought leaders, innovators, comedians. We're releasing a new episode every Wednesday. It's free on the Relevant YouTube channel. Just go over to YouTube, search for Relevant, search for 3 Minutes With, and you'll see there's a bunch of episodes already there. And every Wednesday there'll be a new one. So go check it out. I think you'll like it. It's good content and quick. Isn't that the name of the game? Okay, but for real, don't miss the Tuesday show. That's all I'm going to say. If you happen to be online on Monday, you could check out our site and see it there too. But if you're podcast first, the Tuesday show's got some big news. Don't miss it. Hey, in the meantime, go over to relevantstore.com. You can see our latest merch, podcast fan gear. You can get our annual print edition. You can also sign up for our daily newsletter at relevantmagazine.com to keep you in touch with our best content. It's our top 5 trending articles every morning. And make sure to follow Relevant on all the socials so you don't miss a thing. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and occasionally on TikTok. And now make sure to follow us on YouTube, subscribe over there, and don't miss an episode of 3 Minutes With. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
We will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Be safe.
For listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I'm fine going back to sexy vampires. I'm fine with sexy werewolves, frankly.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
We've all been to the party or tailgate with that person. You know, the one who makes everything about politics. Or there's that relative, the one you blocked on Facebook because you'd prefer to opt out of toxic conversations.
I'm Sarah Stewart Holland.
And I'm Beth Silvers.
We host Pantsuit Politics, where we take a different approach to the news.
On Pantsuit Politics, we opt out of the shouting and scorekeeping while still recognizing that elections matter.
We're here to look at the headlines as citizens. We pay attention to politics, but also keep it in perspective.
Pantsuit Politics was named one of Apple's best podcasts of 2021 and GMA3's podcast of the month.
Take a different approach to the news with us in 2023. Pantsuit Politics releases new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Listen on the Acast app and wherever you get your podcast.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.